2 organs, each about the size of your fist, working every single minute of every single day, filtering, cleaning, balancing, without ever asking for a break. Now picture them slowly being destroyed by things you willingly consume before noon every single day. No pain, no warning, no alarm, just silence, until the damage is already done. Here's what nobody is telling you clearly enough. Kidney disease doesn't announce itself. It doesn't knock on your door. It moves in quietly, sets up camp, and by the time you feel something is wrong, the destruction is already years deep. Right now, over 850 million people worldwide are living with some form of kidney disease. Most of them had no idea anything was wrong until it was far too late to reverse it. And the most terrifying part? The things causing this damage aren't exotic chemicals or rare substances. They're sitting in your kitchen. They're in your medicine cabinet. They might be in the meal you ate this morning. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 4 of the most dangerous and most overlooked threats to your kidney health. We're going from serious to catastrophic. And by the time we reach number 1, I think you'll genuinely rethink something you do every single day. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could quite literally add years to your life. Before we get into the list, you need to understand something that most people never consider. Your kidneys aren't invincible, and as you get older, they become significantly more fragile, not because something went wrong, but because time changes the rules. Think of your kidneys like a high-performance filtration system. When it's brand new, it handles enormous pressure with ease. It filters around 200 liters of blood every single day. It regulates your blood pressure. It signals your body to produce red blood cells. It keeps your bones from becoming brittle. It's extraordinary engineering. But here's what nobody talks about. With every decade of life, that filtration capacity quietly declines. Doctors measure this with something called the glomerular filtration rate. And the numbers tell a sobering story. The older you get, the less margin for error your kidneys have. Think of it like this. Imagine a bridge built to hold 10 tons. In its prime, you can push it hard and it holds. But after 40 years of weather and wear, that same bridge might crack under 6 tons. The bridge didn't fail overnight. The stress just finally caught up with it. Your kidneys work the same way. And here's where it gets urgent. 2 of the most common conditions that come with age, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes are also the 2 leading causes of kidney failure on the planet. They don't just damage kidneys, they systematically destroy them, layer by layer, filter by filter. So anything that fuels those 2 conditions is by extension a direct attack on your kidneys. That brings us to the list. Threat number 4, the one that has nothing to do with food. Most people expect a list like this to be entirely about what you eat or drink. This one will surprise you, because threat number 4 isn't something you consume. It's something you stopped doing. It's physical inactivity, and it's wrecking your kidneys in ways most people never connect. Here's the physiology in plain terms. Your kidneys rely on consistent, healthy blood flow to do their job. Every filter inside them, and there are about 1 million tiny ones in each kidney, needs a steady supply of oxygenated blood to function properly. When you move your body, your heart pumps with more force, circulation accelerates, and that rich oxygenated blood reaches every corner of your body, including those kidney filters, with power and efficiency. But when you spend most of your day sitting, at a desk, on a couch, in a chair, circulation slows dramatically. Blood pools, flow becomes sluggish, and your kidneys begin operating under-resourced, like a factory that keeps running but never gets its raw materials delivered on time. Over time, this creates the perfect environment for metabolic disaster. Inactivity causes your cells to stop responding properly to insulin. Blood sugar starts climbing, fat accumulates around the organs, blood pressure rises, and suddenly, without ever eating a single bad thing, you've created conditions that are actively deteriorating your kidney health. Every hour of unbroken sitting is a quiet cost your kidneys are paying. But here's the empowering part. The solution doesn't require a gym membership or an athletic background. It requires movement, consistent, daily, intentional movement. Start with a 10-minute walk after meals. Studies have shown that even short walks after eating dramatically improve blood sugar regulation. Set a timer every 60 minutes while you're sitting and simply stand up. Walk to another room. Rotate your ankles. Stretch your arms overhead. If mobility is a challenge, chair-based exercises, leg lifts, arm circles, seated marching still get circulation moving and make a genuine difference. The goal isn't to become an athlete. The goal is to keep the river flowing, because stagnant water breeds disease, and moving blood keeps your kidneys alive. Threat number 3, the pill you think is safe. Open the medicine cabinet in almost any home and you'll find them. Little tablets, familiar names: ibuprofen, naproxen, diclofenac. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, are among the most widely used medications on the planet. They're sold without a prescription. They kill pain fast. And because they're so easy to get, most people assume they're perfectly safe to use whenever needed. That assumption is costing people their kidneys. Here's what's actually happening inside your body when you take these medications regularly. Your kidneys use specialized chemical messengers, called prostaglandins, to keep their blood vessels open and maintain healthy blood flow through their filters. These messengers are critical. Without them, the vessels that feed your kidney filters constrict, blood flow drops, and those filters begin to starve for oxygen. NSAIDs work by blocking prostaglandins throughout your body to reduce inflammation and pain. The problem is, they block them everywhere, including in your kidneys. Every dose partially cuts off the blood supply your kidney filters depend on. Take one occasionally for a headache. Your healthy kidneys can likely handle it. But take them daily for chronic back pain, arthritis, or joint discomfort. That's like squeezing a garden hose shut every single day. The plant, your kidney tissue, slowly withers. The damage builds silently. No pain, no signal, just gradual, irreversible scarring. And here's the detail that makes this especially dangerous. Many over-the-counter cold medicines, sleep aids, and combination pain relievers contain hidden NSAIDs. People double dose without realizing it. So what's the solution? First, chronic pain deserves a real diagnosis, not a daily pill to silence it. If you're reaching for anti-inflammatories regularly, that's your body telling you something deeper needs attention. See a doctor. Second, when you do need pain relief, acetaminophen is generally far gentler on the kidneys than NSAIDs, though it should still be used at appropriate doses. Third, don't underestimate non-pharmaceutical options. Targeted physical therapy, heat application, cold therapy, and anti-inflammatory nutrition have helped countless people dramatically reduce their dependence on painkillers. And always, always, tell your doctor everything you're taking, even supplements, even herbal remedies, because combinations matter and your kidneys are the ones paying the price when nobody's tracking the full picture. Threat number 2. The ingredient that's hiding in plain sight. Quick question. How much salt did you eat today? If your answer is not much, I barely use the salt shaker, I want you to hold that thought. Because that answer, while completely honest, is almost certainly wrong. Research consistently shows that more than 75% of the sodium in the average person's diet doesn't come from the salt shaker at all. It comes from processed, packaged, and prepared foods. Bread, deli meats, canned goods, frozen meals, condiments, breakfast cereals, and even foods that don't taste remotely salty. The food industry uses sodium as a preservative and flavor enhancer. It's in nearly everything that comes in a package. And it accumulates fast, often pushing people well past the recommended daily limit before dinner is even served. So why does this destroy kidneys? When excess sodium floods your bloodstream, your body triggers an emergency response. It retains water to dilute the sodium concentration. Blood volume increases, and with more blood pushing through your arteries with nowhere to go, pressure builds. That's hypertension, and hypertension is the second leading cause of kidney failure in the world. Here's the image that makes this real. Inside each of your kidneys are millions of microscopic filtering units called glomeruli. tiny, delicate clusters of blood vessels so fine they can only be seen under a microscope. High blood pressure is like running those filters under a fire hose. Day after day, year after year, the pressure damages them, scars them, destroys them permanently. And unlike many conditions, once those filters are gone, they don't regenerate. Protecting yourself starts with becoming what I'd call a label detective. Turn every package around before it goes in your cart. Look for the sodium content. You'll be genuinely shocked to find it in places you never expected. Aim for under 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. If you have elevated blood pressure, your target is closer to 1,500 milligrams. Cook at home as often as possible. It's the single most powerful way to control your sodium intake. And when you cook, experiment with flavor. Garlic, smoked paprika, fresh lemon juice, turmeric, rosemary, cumin. These aren't just substitutes for salt. They're upgrades. They add depth and complexity that processed food can never match. Give your taste buds 3 weeks. That's all it takes for them to recalibrate. Foods that used to taste normal will start tasting overwhelmingly salty, and you'll realize just how much sodium you were consuming without knowing it. Threat number 1, the sweet poison destroying millions of kidneys right now. We've talked about inactivity. We've talked about painkillers and sodium. All of them are serious. All of them deserve your attention. But nothing comes close to the destruction caused by what I'm about to describe. This is the number 1 threat to kidney health on the planet, the most addictive, the most widespread, the most disguised as something harmless, even something celebratory. Sugar and its biochemical twin, refined flour. Before you think, I already know sugar is bad, stay with me. Because what sugar does to your kidneys specifically is more brutal and more multi-layered than most people realize. And the scale of the damage is being dramatically undercommunicated. Let me show you exactly how this attack works, not from one direction, but from 4 simultaneous fronts. Front 1, the direct road to kidney failure. Type 2 diabetes is the single leading cause of kidney failure worldwide. Not one of the leading causes, the leading cause. And the primary driver of type 2 diabetes is exactly what you'd expect: chronic overconsumption of sugar and refined carbohydrates. Here's the mechanism. When you eat white bread, white rice, sugary drinks, pastries, cookies, or candy, your blood glucose spikes rapidly and dramatically. Your pancreas responds by pumping out insulin to manage it. Do this repeatedly, day after day, and your cells gradually stop responding to insulin's signal. Glucose stays elevated. The pancreas works harder. Eventually, the system breaks down entirely. That's type 2 diabetes. And once blood sugar remains chronically elevated, the damage to kidneys is severe and progressive. High glucose essentially caramelizes the delicate filtering membranes inside your kidneys, making them stiff, scarred, and eventually non-functional. Doctors call this diabetic nephropathy, and it is, without question, the fastest road to dialysis that exists. Front 2, blood pressure. Without the salt. For decades, we blamed sodium for hypertension, and sodium is absolutely a factor. But emerging research has revealed something that changes the picture entirely. Sugar, particularly fructose, the type found in high fructose corn syrup and added sugars, raises blood pressure through completely separate mechanisms than salt. It triggers the release of compounds that constrict blood vessels. It interferes with the kidney's ability to excrete sodium. It elevates uric acid, which independently damages blood vessels. This means that even people carefully watching their salt intake can still develop high blood pressure if their sugar consumption remains unchecked. 2 hammers, hitting the same target. Front 3, the fire. You can't feel. Sugar is one of the most potent drivers of systemic inflammation in the modern diet. Chronic, low-grade inflammation, the kind that doesn't cause obvious symptoms but quietly damages tissue over years, is increasingly being linked to accelerated kidney decline, cardiovascular disease, and neurological deterioration. You don't feel inflamed, you just feel tired. A little foggy, a little achy. Normal aging, you think, but inside, your arteries, including the microscopic ones feeding your kidney filters, are being steadily eroded by an inflammatory environment that sugar helps create and maintain. Front 4. Obesity, fatty liver, and the metabolic avalanche. Excess sugar that your body doesn't immediately burn gets converted into fat, specifically triglycerides, and stored in your fat cells and, critically, in your liver. Fatty liver disease, which is now epidemic and strongly linked to sugar consumption, disrupts metabolic function across your entire body. It impairs how your body processes fats, regulates blood sugar, and manages inflammation. And all of that metabolic chaos flows downstream directly to your kidneys. Add the weight gain that comes with chronic sugar overconsumption, and you've placed yet another burden on those already stressed filtration organs. It is, in the truest sense, a coordinated assault. So, how do you break free? The first step is recognizing how deeply sugar has been embedded into everyday eating, often invisibly. Check labels for hidden sugar aliases: high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, maltose, sucrose, cane juice, and more than 50 other names the food industry uses to disguise it. Eliminate liquid sugar first: sodas, commercial fruit juices, sweetened coffees, energy drinks, bottled teas. These are the fastest way to flood your bloodstream with glucose and the easiest to replace. Sparkling water with fresh fruit, herbal teas, or simply plain water accomplish the same hydration without any of the damage. Watch the healthy traps. Low-fat yogurts, granola bars, protein bars, and diet products often remove fat and replace it with sugar to maintain palatability. Always read the label, not the marketing on the front of the package. Replace refined grains with whole ones. The fiber in genuine whole grain, bread, oats, brown rice, and legumes slows glucose absorption dramatically, the difference between a flood and a gentle stream reaching your bloodstream. And build your diet around real, whole foods. When your plate is primarily made up of vegetables, proteins, healthy fats, legumes, and whole grains, sugar and refined flour naturally fade from the picture, not through restriction, through replacement. The research on this is compelling. People who shift away from processed, sugar-heavy diets see measurable improvements in blood pressure, blood sugar, inflammation markers, and kidney function indicators, often within weeks. Your kidneys can't regenerate lost tissue, but they can be protected from further damage, and that protection starts at the end of your fork. What you now know that most people don't. Let's bring this full circle. 4 threats, each one serious, together devastating. 4. Physical inactivity, starving your kidneys of the blood flow they need to survive. 3. Chronic NSAIDs, quietly strangling your kidney's blood supply one dose at a time. 2. Hidden dietary sodium, hammering your blood pressure and destroying your kidney's microscopic filters. 1. Sugar and refined flour, launching a multi-front attack that leads, for millions of people, to dialysis. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. Kidney disease is largely preventable, not in some abstract statistical way, but in the practical daily decisions you make about how you move, what you eat, and what you put in your body. The kidneys don't get the attention that the heart or the brain gets. They don't have an awareness month on every billboard. They work in silence, which is exactly why they're so vulnerable to neglect. But now you know. And knowledge acted upon is the most powerful medicine there is. Start with one change, just one. Swap the soda for water today. Take a 10-minute walk after dinner. Flip over a food package and actually read the sodium content. Have an honest conversation with your doctor about what you're taking for pain. One step, then another. That's how health is built, and how disease is stopped before it starts. If this video made you see something differently, if something here genuinely surprised you or shifted your perspective, I'd love to know which part hit hardest. Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and your response helps shape what we cover next. And if you want to keep getting content like this, evidence-based, no-nonsense health information delivered in a way that actually makes sense, subscribing takes 2 seconds, and it means you won't miss what's coming next. We're just getting started. Take care of those kidneys. They've been working for you every second of your life without complaint. It's time to return the favor.